to hear about the latest Ubuntu release. First off, I'll do a little introduction of myself and the Ubuntu is a local community. I'm Anthony Hook. I'm from, originally from Rhinelander. I work in Rhinelander in an IT company. So I'm a Windows user by day, a Linux user by night. I am the local community contact for Ubuntu Wisconsin, and that's just a volunteer community position. It's kind of like what you guys do. It's basically a user group. You guys are focused more towards being a Linux user group, all sorts of Linuxes. This is geared specifically towards Ubuntu, although, it's not like some elite club that, no other user can, be a participant, whatever. So basically, I was asked to talk to you guys today about the latest Ubuntu release, which is 12.04. Code name was Precise Discipline. Because once it's released, they drop that code name. So now, officially, they refer to it as 12.04. A little bit about the history of Ubuntu. They do releases in every 6 months, and the version number is 12.04. Is the year.
Mute.
Mute. You guys hear me yet?
Yeah, we had another person turn on their laptop, which caused a feedback loop.
Gotcha. Okay.
I got my sound muted.
If you guys want me to slow down or repeat or whatever, just interrupt me. I'm just barreling through here at the top of my head. So this was I don't actually remember which version that was released. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. It's been 6 years. I don't know. I don't keep track. I guess. I've used it since the first release, and it's gotten progressively better. So here what you see.
Mute the mic up there.
Where's the mic?
Somebody over there might want to mute a microphone or turn their volume down a little bit.
I'll make sure.
Oh, here, there. See, I had to do it through my Gmail account. Now I have to shut this off to make sure.
The CD here with the USB drive, they make the install process very easy.
Everybody shouted. The microphone's muted.
I muted mine. Oh, we'll have to have our microphones and speakers muted.
Is that better?
Think so.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh,
So, this is what you get with a default install. This is running on my netbook here, so it's a small low power. I think I have 2 gigs of RAM, and it's maybe a dual core. It still might be a single core, so it's not the speediest. You'll see here, this isn't a new interface that they're using. It's called Unity. The previous version of Ubuntu came with this user interface. Trying to fight that internet. Came with Unity. They made a lot of improvements, and I'll just kind of go through. I'll just go through some of the basics of it. Basically, what they did was Canonical decided that with the GNOME 2 development kind of being halted by the GNOME team itself, the GNOME team, I'm sorry, this is a hard G. The GNOME team stopped development on GNOME 2 and went on to GNOME 3 and GNOME Shell, which some of you may be familiar with. Ubuntu decided that they were going to build this shell called Unity on top of the GNOME 3 architecture. So instead of the GNOME shell, this is just a shell, but everything underneath it is GNOME 3. So if you look over here on your left-hand side, this is called your dash. This has shortcuts to it starts off with your home, which is synonymous in Windows kind of with your start button. I can open my home folder here. Firefox, obviously, which you guys are running, and you can wave your stuff here. Home folder. One thing that you'll notice here, that I open my home folder, that they decided to throw this top menu bar up here. This is where you actually close next to the window. I do like it, but I'm going to just kind of go through an unbiased, nuts and bolts, it is what it is type deal for now. So if you roll up here, you'll see your file menu, obviously as you normally would. It's called the global menu. So this area, depending on which application you have open, takes that program's menus and puts it up there. So now if I open Firefox full screen and I roll up here, I have my Firefox menu item. So depending on which application you use, the menu items get thrown up there. Back now, so we have shortcuts to applications, your writer, LibreOffice, writer, calc, etc., etc. You can reorder these if you want to. I can take Firefox and I can throw it down here. I can take system settings and I can unlock it from the tab bar if I don't want it there. So you can also add applications, and I'll show you that later. But this is just kind of the basics of the dash. Down here you have the trash, which is obviously your recycle bin trash. And this little button is always there. It's permanent. It's the workspace switcher. You click it, and you can pick. You have 4 different workspaces by default to choose from. Multitasking for applications, in those workspaces. Sorry. Up here is the message indicator. This integrates with Empathy. You can also install Pigeon Messenger. It's just another messenger. It can integrate your Google Talk or XMPP applications, MSN. You can actually do live with it. Whatever you like. So this is just kind of a unified menu. You can set your statuses if you want to. When you get a new message, this little icon will show up. I believe it's blue. It may be green. It has changed in the past. I just notice it's different. I guess I don't recall what color it turns. Down in this messaging menu, you have the broadcast account as well, which is, I'll fire it up here and I'll show you the Word, and that is an application. It's an application for social systems like Twitter or Facebook. You have Facebook support as well, so if you have a Facebook account, you can get your Facebook feed here at Democom. When you get it, you'll get a nice little notification bubble. It's similar to the volume thing here. Somebody sends a message or somebody tweets or devs with a Democom. So that's installed by default up here. So I just wanted to go over
Do you actually use Glibber?
So that's broadcast. Set up mail. It's Thunderbird by default for this. From the Mozilla team, you can set up Thunderbird for your email, and that kind of hides up here, and it'll show you notification if you get an email. And Clear will clear if you have, pending tweets or Facebook things, and you, instead of clicking on them all to clear them out. You can just hit the clear button here and it'll just kind of like clear out the notifications. Obviously I'm on a netbook here. I have 15 minutes left, which really keeps the batteries really old. You go to your ports here. You have a device that plugs in. Just doesn't do anything, but I can change my power settings down to power off and it's specific mode, et cetera, et cetera. So you can do that. And click here to have it show how much time I have remaining. I really don't care. The percentage bar works well. I have Bluetooth on this guy, so you can do your Bluetooth settings and things with this Bluetooth indicator. If you don't have Bluetooth, it doesn't show up. It just won't show up. You don't really care about it. Here you can see I'm at the Washburn Marina. I'm on the Wi-Fi. I can connect to the wireless. If I'm wired, I can do that. So this notifies me if there's networks available. Stuff. I'm sure you guys all know that. Volume 12.04 comes with rhythm box installed by default. Media player. You can pick a ton of other media players, and I think they all show up in here, and you can control. Play next song. It'll show your cover art and what song you're playing as you're playing it. So instead of finding where the application is and going through, you can just drop down and hit next song or pause or whatever. Sound settings, obviously, whether or not I can play that. Daytime, obviously. The fast user switcher is cool. My wife and I use this on our desktop. You can switch your user account, change your user accounts, etc. And last thing here, obviously, is this menu. They redid a little bit. You can get to your system settings here. Your displays, startup applications. You can manage those. So my software is up to date, which is good. I can manage my printers, like being logged out and shut down.
Oh, change the desktop.
Is that me that got a message?
Is.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of got a message. We were looking at ways to communicate with you. Did you want to go over the GIST session? I don't remember which version of Ubuntu put that in, but it is pretty sweet.
Can you guys hear me okay? I couldn't hear you, and I'm not sure why.
I've been muting and unmuting in order to talk. Maybe that's...
Oh, group chat. Oh, check this out. Cool. Okay. And and I haven't been able to hear anybody else. I've just been kind of going on. So, thank me or stop or go forward. And what did you mention that was to the phone now?
I was talking about group chat, or no, sorry, guest session. The get rid of every evidence of my existence after I log out session. That's standard on every Ubuntu install.
Oh, the guest session. Yeah, that's really nice to do. So if you want to hand your laptop to somebody, requires them a clean guest session, they can't get your stuff or make any changes, which is so cool. I've only used it once, and I don't remember why. It was at the university, and so, that's kind of up. That's up here. The system settings, they kind of redid the control panel. I've seen kind of over to the home control panel. You can see here, obviously, your personal settings, and you guys can fire it up on a live USB and check this out with your want to. Automatically, I'll just fire it up and show you guys. It's how did you do that? Is this the hangout that you created? Oh, that's right. I can specifically mute people.
See, for the thing we're talking about.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't know it was work.
Yeah, but I muted
Okay.
We've been having a small amount of bandwidth issues, and you've been turning into a robot with crazy pixelated stuff. So that's might be why we're talking about that.
something, I mean, because I,
No, you can
That's
watch it.
probably the DSL connection that I'm on right now. We'll blame it on that. But can you guys hear me all right? Yes. Just a thumbs up. Okay. We'll keep going here. They include Deja Dup, I don't know. So you can go in here and interact with little just all want to Doodle network. You can do it through on Ubuntu 1. You'll see their Barris name of my machine. I named them after a personal alpha here. So, you know, you can set up your storage if you want to do little storage, if you want to do a network ads or something at home, FTP, SSH, WebDrive, Windows Share, custom communication, or a local folder if you have an external hard drive mounted as a local folder, you can go there, which is what I do from that. Obviously, you can set up the folders, you can make your cache, etc., and set up your own schedules, daily, weekly, every 2 week, and monthly backups. I do it daily. That's you can keep them, you can do rolling backups, so you have 2 months of backups, or at least 3 months, or whatever is up to you, depending on how much space you give it. So that's kind of nice that they give you. I haven't had to do any restores from that, so that's good, knock on wood. Oh, we were back here, I'm sorry, the system setting. So we will go through. There's some of the other stuff, obviously, sound and wave count tablet. I don't have one. If you do, you can change stuff. User account, time. Privacy is, I haven't looked at this yet, but this is, and actually, I'm going to get back to that. I know what that is, but I'm not quite there yet. Ubuntu 1 is the storage that you get by default. You get 5 gigs of Dropbox storage. They have a Windows client, a Linux client, and they have an Android client. I don't know if they have an iOS client at this point. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't tell you. But it is a shared folder that you can sync across devices, similar to Dropbox. Online backup, you can get to it from a web page. So you get 5 gigs of storage for free, which is pretty cool. Change my mouse settings here, and actually this is something that I do want to do on my touchpad. I want to do 2 for scrolling and enable horizontal scrolling, which that's cool for me as I'm presenting here. As far as here, please. Anybody have any questions? I'm going to go back to you guys. Anything so far? Did I cover everything okay? Any other questions on the system settings?
Anybody?
And system settings mode.
Thumbs up. We good to go? Can I keep going? Thumbs up? Okay, cool. Alright, we'll go back to this. So those are the new system settings. The system settings and displays actually takes you to system settings and displays. Actually, and I'll show you. There's a fire right here, and I can see obviously my resolution, rotation if I want to. But I do want to go back here to appearance. Obviously, you can change your wallpaper here if you want to. They do have some pretty cool wallpapers. I'm going to pick this one because it's quite nautical. The other thing down here, which I have played with, is the launcher icon size. On this left-hand side, this launcher is not very customizable, but one thing you can do is make your icon here. Say, Anthony, what if there's too many and they don't fit? So if I make it as large as I can, they kind of roll up on top here. So, you know, you can have more than will fit, and they kind of fold up as you need them, and if you need to get something, they'll unroll. So that's kind of nice. I'm on an netbook. I like to keep it small. I have it icon order. So, I like to keep them small, but you can change it if you want. You can change that if you want. So, are there any questions in the basic first user interface that you see? Anything yet? I haven't gotten into the dash or any other features. Is everybody still good? Thumbs up, we're good? Okay, keep going. Go over to the dash. Dash home, this is
That's nice. That's really nice.
your dash, basically. When you get here, you can see there's different, these are called lenses on the bottom. Whether or not the common user will know that, I don't know. But you can see at the top here recent applications, things that I have opened recently. David Box Music Player, Calculator, Accelerator, Movie Player, Mail, System Settings, Deliver. You can see recent downloads it shows you if you care, you know, my Google plugin, so I can talk to you guys. Down here in this lens is applications, so I can see my installed applications if I want to. This is kind of neat, you know, bringing back to the Ubuntu Software Center in a little bit, but this shows applications that you can download. They might do, I don't know actually how this is populated, but they show some featured stuff that you may not have that you might want installed if you want to see everything that you have installed. You know, you can do it that way, but you might say, you know, I don't want to scroll through this huge list, I want something bigger. Well, applications that you have installed. I'll show you a demonstration in a little bit. You can actually do searches within files or with file names as well. So I'm at work and I want to find my PTO form. So I don't have it here, but I can just start to type PTO and find this form. It will search files, applications, and things that may match. But obviously I don't have that here. But in the search, if you want to type in open up a text editor, you can search for text. I use this a lot. You want to open a terminal, but you say, well, I don't want to open the menu and type and find something every time. Well, I can take the terminal, click on it, drag it over here, and pin it over here to the dash. So now I can launch it anytime I want from here. Pin it here, I can put it wherever I want. That is what it is. So the dash here, trust me, it's a lot faster on a machine that is not a netbook, so you know, it's a little slower. But I have a nice machine at home that is a lot big quicker on. Documents in here, search files and folders. I can search for, you know, certain documents, pictures, music, you know, whatever. There's a music lens, which is cool. If I had a music collection on here, which I don't, if I wanted to jam like I have been in honor of MCA from the Beastie Boys, which was bosses like cancer, start to type in Beastie Boys, and it actually pulls in, which is kind of cool. There's a music store that they have built into the music player and software center that I can purchase music from. You can download it DRM free. I think it's DRM free. Don't quote me on that. But if I wanted to get, say, nobody knows. Now, 1 second, go back to the chat window. Nope, missed it. Is there anything for me?
No.
Anybody got
Thumbs up. Okay, cool. We're still good. I just want to make sure I'm not missing. So we'll go back to your music anyway if you want to. And I haven't done it yet. You can download music and play with the music player. I have a music collection, so I don't do that time. So over here, obviously, it's the same thing with videos. You can write music with Amazon. Actually, I didn't know that. So I'm kind of doing this. Kind of cool director of YouTube movies. Huh, this is kind of cool. cool. I might look into this a little bit more. With the video lens, obviously you can.
Is that integrated with Amazon Instant?
What's that?
Amazon Instant, the video on demand streaming?
Oh, is that what that is? Okay. Yeah, and I haven't actually played with that yet. So Amazon Instant, I guess. That's actually really cool.
I don't know if it is. I was just wondering.
Well, we'll find out. I'm going to click on one. We'll see what happens here. Looks like it does go to Amazon. Amazon Instant Video, 48-hour rental. Cool. You can rent it 48 hours for $4 or buy it for $15. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know they did
Yeah.
that.
If you have Prime, there's a bunch of stuff that's free.
You can also, obviously, up here you see on the left, filter results. So you can change your sources. If I only want to look for TED Talks, I can look for TED Talks on
That's cool.
science. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to have to ton of them. You know, it's actually really cool. So you can filter what you're looking for. Actually, you can do a filter in the other ones as well. You can filter, for instance, applications. You can look for just your games, just your accessories, just your developer tools, IDs that you have installed, LibreOffice, sorry, stuff. You can rate applications that you want to, and we'll kind of go over that in a little bit as well. So this is kind of a walk around the dash. They did make a lot of improvements since the last version. It was really not very fun to use the previous version. But it's pretty easy to navigate around now, and you can open it with your super key, also known commonly as the Windows key. So if there's something I don't have pinned that I want to open quick, I just tap it, start typing, and you get it through right away, and it'll open that first result, so you don't have to go and click on it, which is kind of nice. Another thing that I didn't talk about yet, the basic user instinct, which is called I'm trying to think, Datcher, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Basically what it is instead of going up here, actually a really good example would be GIMP if I had it installed. Instead of mousing over and up, say I want to open a new tab and I don't want to type the keyboard shortcut for whatever reason, just for example purposes. Instead of going up to File, Open Tab, and then I can actually hit the Alt key, and this search box here is actually, you're searching those menu items. So if I type in tab, I can File, Open Tab, and I can hit Enter, and it will do that for me. Like I said, I have done this in the GIMP. If you use the GIMP, you know that the menu items are crazy wonderful, and if you don't use it every day, it's hard to remember what is where. So if I want to do shadow effects, I just hit Alt, and I start to type shadow, and I can actually use that box instead of going up here and finding a through menu. It's kind of cool. There's a feature similar to it in Mac. I don't know what it's called. I don't really use it, but I do know that something similar exists. So that's kind of cool. That is a new feature that they did add. So I can, instead of doing Control D, if I really want to type that actually, if I wanted to type in quit, quit. Yeah, whatever. Close it. So, I haven't used it. I'm not, terribly comfortable with it, but that is a feature that you can investigate. I talked a little bit about the Ubuntu software center. You're not going to I hate to use the term. I'm not going to say it works apps to work, but it is a software center where you can purchase, download the application for free. I'm going to open up here. Nice search box in the top right if you know what you're looking for. If you want to do the GIMP, you can search GIMP. Actually, this is the first time that I've opened it on this install, so it might be slow because of that, but also I am on the network. Okay, it's back. Usually they have some featured items up here. Lord of Ultima obviously is a game for free, something that you can download. It'll kind of go through some different applications. Again, I'm blaming it because I am on the network. Over here on the left, you can see the categories of stuff. There's actually magazine subscriptions that you can purchase. Go publish magazines. You can see here there.
Multimedia.
There's 6 magazines. Stash. Some other stuff. Maybe there's just a calculator. I don't know. But you can get the Ubuntu guides on here, and I may have accidentally put down one. So there's feature items up here. There's a list of what's new applications. You can see here I mentioned the rating system. You can actually go in here and find an application that you like and rate it. Other users rate it. It all gets kind of centrally stored. You can view applications by their rating. So if you want to see things that are 5-star PLC, super cool application. Obviously, hear that you like it. Fonts, game graphics, there's all kinds of stuff that you do or look for, which is kind of the software center. Recommendations, I haven't tried this yet. To make recommendations of software automatically send to Canonical and anonymous list the software. Okay, so for instance, if I were to grab all kinds of music editing or music producing applications, I would assume that it would recommend applications. So that kind of gets into the rating system. In this drop-down box here, you can see things that are provided by Ubuntu. You can just filter by partners of Canonical. I can see that Skype is in here, so I can install Skype if I want to. I'm not going to because it's pretty slow. Things for purchase, if I'm feeling like spending some money and I want to play Oil Rush, actually, World of Goo is a super fun game. You can purchase applications here, and games that are done by independent developers.
Yeah. Darwinia is also excellent.
You add other repositories if you get into adding other personal private archives for people. Hang on 1 second. That's good. Looks like it's a voltage calculator. Usually you see some sort of description. There's a screenshot here that you can enlarge. You can see a little bit more, what it looks like. You can see here LED color and voltage. And it doesn't look like the screenshot was taken in English, but I would assume it would be translated. Kind of go through there. You can view your installed software. You can also view your history, what software you may have installed, things that you removed and made this done. So that is the software. All changes, installations, updates. So that is the software center. It's pretty cool. You can also still, for the command line people, you can still want to use a command line sudo apt-get or use aptitude. You can still definitely do that. Does anybody else have any questions so far?
My question is about desktop add-ons.
I can hear you. I can see you talking.
Yeah. Like CPU meters, network meters, real-time things that told you how much network or CPU usage you were doing.
Yeah, so you're talking about something like that would sit on your desktop here like a widget type deal? Is that, if you can hear me, is that what you're referring to?
Yes. Yes.
Ah, cool. I can hear you. That is something, there's a couple different ways you can do that. There is, an application called Conky, and it's a very highly yeah. Sure, that'll work. I'll give you guys a call if I get that work. Alright, okay. We're on a boat getting it seaworthy for the summer, so that's we're kind of getting stuff ready. That's why I'm doing that. So, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One way that I use is called Conti. It's an application that runs in the background. It's a scriptable, configurable application. There's all kinds of themes that people set up, and it will report on your desktop here. For instance, I put on my battery life, wireless that you're connected to, Wi-Fi signal, that type of stuff. There's another one. I'm not sure if it is in development anymore. I would assume it's called G-Desklets. And that is another widget type interface where you can install different types of widgets. I haven't used Desklets in a few years. Whether or not it's still there is a good question. I can do it through the command line, but I just want to see. I'll use the software center just for demonstration purposes. Go here. All right. It's got 12 ratings, average of looks like 2.5 stars out of 5. There are no screenshots. Using what the version that is, and I don't know.
You're talking like the
It's
system
a totally
monitor.
community
I like that.
supported application, so we're gonna have element as a data. I don't know. So somebody did review it. There's only 4 splits available, and those that are sometimes fail or requires fine tuning. Not installing best, that's very poor support, very limited. So it doesn't look like that's what you're gonna want. If you want to fight with it, feel free. Like I said, the other one that I know is Conky, and that's a very small application. Highly configurable system monitor, more info. Also down here, you can see on the bottom it said show additional technical items. If there's libraries or development libraries or source libraries for things, they'll show up and they have those by default. Because in the spirit of making things more user-friendly, users might not want to see that, or it's gibberish that they don't understand or don't care about. But they do like developers, if I wanted to do the technical items.
They're like the dev packages.
So
Dev packages are auto hidden unless you want to see it. Makes sense.
We did Conky all, Conky CLI, Conky standard. Okay. So this is something to look into. There's communities online. I know there's a big one on the Ubuntu forums. You can go to the developer website of people that have scripts, and a lot of times there's images that so if that answers your question. Good, thumbs up, okay. Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm slowly running myself out of things that I can think of to talk
Having
about.
more than one application running at the same time, like if you have Chrome and if you wanted 2 windows of Chrome, how you can pull both of them up, one or the other.
You might want to, let's see. One of our people was asking about bringing up 2 windows at the same time and having them share the screen.
One of our people was asking about bringing up can see my screen here. For instance, I'm going to open up a terminal also, and then we'll want to get that by side bill. They do have a feature. Oh, and I forgot to highlight something else. So cool. Thank you very much. You can take the terminal window, you can drag it over to the side. You'll see that orange hue on half of my screen. It'll show me that it wants to split the screen. This is also on Windows. It's called the Arrow Snap feature. They claim, that they had it in super cool. It's been something that you can do in ComPiz for a number of years. It's now enabled by default, so that people tend to just figure it out. So I can run that side by side with our chat here. That works pretty well. You can do it with Word documents and that type of stuff. Also, if I do want to full screen the terminal, I can click and drag it up. I gotta break it. Break it here from screen. And I'm on a touchpad too, so it makes it a little more difficult. But if I want to full screen it, I can drag it up to the top, and you can see my screen has that orange hue. It shows me that it would like to maximize it, so I do have a maximize window.
So how can you switch between multiple, like if you have four different programs running at the same time?
Like an alt tab
On
in
the same
Windows?
window.
So thank you for that. That is something that I did forget. Another thing also, let me break this over the corner here. If I have my application open and if I drag it over a little bit, it will hide. There's the setting. You have it hide and show this launcher here, so if you go here all the time, you'll say, yeah, I want my screen real estate. Cool, because that is something to figure. Pretty sure you can tell without adding any extra stuff. Let's figure it out. Let's go back here and use this. We'll maximize it. Unity. There is something, I guess it's not here, there's a way that you can make it dodge. And it's in the Software Center. It's called Unity Tweak, I believe. And it does let you change a little more settings of Unity. The Unity, if you auto hide. If you want it to auto hide when something's going to overlap or hide all the time, and you move your mouse up to it, it kind of shows. Everybody's familiar with Docky. Docky has the same type of settings where it'll hide when you don't care. Mouse down, pick it up with one. And I haven't actually tried, so to sake of demonstration, I think we're going to leave that out for now because I don't know. That helps. So, does anybody else have any other questions? Oh, let me go through the workspace switcher just a little bit. This is actually cool, and I use this every day at work. So if I have my workspace switcher, and I have a terminal open, and I have part of the network lag. I want to open the workspace switcher, and I want to separate these out a little. I can actually take a location, throw it on a different workspace here. If I don't care about it, I'll come back to you guys over here. Click on it, obviously, to show a thumbnail. It'll show, obviously, you can see the live video here. If you guys on the left, if you have a YouTube video playing, it will show you a live video, so you can watch 4 movies at once if you want to. I don't know why you want to, but whatever. You can also switch back and forth with your Control, Alt, and Arrow keys. So if I want to switch left, I can Control, Alt, Arrow. Sorry, to the right.
4 different screens, Control.
And I can Control Alt down, move over, and I can diagonally if I press what I want. So I use that a lot at work for multitasking. I have a Citrix session open on one, a full-page web browser on the other, whatever. Just kind of help helps organize workflow. I've also done coding. You guys code on one side, live preview on the other, alternative reviews, the same function. So, does anybody else have any other questions or things I can maybe attempt to help out with?
No. Anybody questions?
I think I'm good.
Really? One question? Two? Maybe two questions? Does that mean I suck? Cool. All right. Let me just kind of play around here and see really briefly if there's anything else that I need to cover. Oh, and I did mention somebody did write to the mailing list, and I don't remember who it was. Apologies. I'm not trying to be inconsiderate. Let me go over and close this. Asked about, some of the new features. I kind of went over some of them. The other one I did mention was the light DM. Unfortunately, it's very hard for me to demonstrate that.
Oh, because you gotta log out.
How you're going to stop my screen sharing. It's something that you can try. You can run the live USB and try it yourself, or if you have it installed, you can go ahead and play with it. It won't take, it's the login window. When you turn it on and you type in your password to log in, is that light VM, that's the package name that I'm referring to. It will actually take the background choice of your wallpaper. So I have this nautical looking line as my wallpaper. It will show the login screen with my name over here, which is it's a little thing, but it makes it look really nice, I think. Obviously, they told faster boot up. It boots fairly quickly on this netbook. I haven't done any boot chart comparisons with the previous version to see what actual boot time is. But I can tell you that I do notice that it's quicker. My desktop is fairly fast. I don't even actually get a loading screen. It mostly turns on and I'm at my login screen, which is really, really nice. They fixed a lot of suspend issues with laptops. Currently I have
How about tablet compatibility?
7 different pieces of hardware that I personally own, and I don't have any suspend issues with those. Your results may vary.
What about tablet compatibility?
Tablet compatibility. I do know, first-hand experience, my father-in-law had a Dell, what is it? It's an M15 convertible tablet. He did have some issues before with touch working on that tablet. He does work on his currently with the stylus without any extra configuration. I'll show you guys my face. It's kind of dark, but I'll stop screen. So I do know that on his tablet it does work really well. Other models, actually, thank you for bringing that up because it reminds me of something. There is, I'm going to go back to screen share again. There is a database called, the project was called Ubuntu Friendly, and it is a database of hardware that Ubuntu works and is tested with. Basically, you can run it on your hardware and do some testing and reports it back to your database. You can browse this. So we're just going to do it from the second page. Ubuntu. Data go to, what is it? It is things that work. So go to the site and you can find your make and model of your hardware. People will report. You can do searching and filtering. People will report how well things work. Maybe you'll have a wireless problem or a touch problem or etc. So you can check out this database. If I look for like
I'm writing a blog post.
XPS, which I have next to me, M1530. We'll see if that shows up. And
Search.
awesome. Nobody tested that. Maybe I should.
Search for ThinkPad X41 tablet.
Anyway, what is it?
X41.
X31?
No, I got it on. I got it on.
Close enough. 31 is a good one too.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
X41 is the one I was asking about.
41.
Okay. I only see a handful of ThinkPads. They appear to work well. Also, if you just hit up, the Google or Bing, whichever your preference is. You can. A lot of people report issues if they do have it, but this is a good central database. If you do have it, you want to test it, and you want to report back, feel free. They have a nice how to participate in here. But the ThinkPads do appear well. I have seen a couple other ThinkPads. I haven't seen the X41 specifically. I've seen even some of the older ones.
X41's pretty old now.
Let's see. Oh, another thing that I can mention is if you have an older machine, and that probably might be a better idea for me on this netbook. There is a 2D version of Unity, which is this Unity meter, and if you have an older graphics card, Unity may not work. If you look at the Software Center or install it with apt-get, there is a 2D version of Unity that does seem to work a little bit better with older graphics cards. So that is an option if you just keep that in mind. Unity 2D. You can switch your sessions on the login screen. As with any other login manager that you're probably familiar with, there's usually some sort of gear or option you can switch. You want to log into an XFCE session or an XMonad or whatever, so you can change the login.
Any questions? Lauren? I don't think we have any more questions.
We're good. You got any stories?
Don't think we had any more?
No.
I think we're good.
I missed that last question. Okay. You can always hit me up on the mailing list if you have any questions. I'm not an expert at anything. But if you do have questions, we do have a local community. We do have a mailing list that you can hit up. There are forums. There's an IRC chat room for support. Regular Google people experiencing similar issues. You can shoot me a direct email. I don't even care if I can try to help find out, get you to where anybody needs help. Feel free. I know that somebody said that, Tim, I think it was you that said you had some issues updating a system.
Correct.
I can continue that on the mailing list. We can talk about that later. That'd be fine. It'd be great if I could try to help you out with that.
Yes, I would like that.
If you do have an older version, you can upgrade straight from the last long-term. Okay, let me go back to versioning. Ubuntu puts out a version every 6 months. Generally, those are supported in updates, security updates, and that type of thing for 18 months. And every 2 years, they put out what they call a long-term
Support.
Yes, 2 years. They put out what's called a long-term release, and that is supported for 3 years on the desktop side, desktop, laptop, netbook. It's all one. And 5 years on the server support. So if you're running a web server or anything running Ubuntu, you will get 5 years of security patches with the long-term release.
I think 12.04 just did 5 years for desktop too.
You could very well be correct. a previous release, so if you have 11 documented, you can upgrade to 12.04, or you can upgrade from an LTS to another LTS. Well, LTS is maybe
Holy cow. Okay. Okay.
Did I teach any? Did anybody learn anything new, or was it
Yeah, I
just
did.
kind of review for,
Yeah,
for
no.
anybody, or?
Dash and the UI for 12.04 are definitely new for me.
And which one?
The new UI, Unity in general.
Okay, okay. And also, you can install, there is a GNOME shell package if you really truly hate it and you don't want to use it and you want to use Ubuntu. You can install GNOME shell and pick that as a login shell as well. And you'll get the new GNOME shell instead of Unity. So, that's an option for people that may hate it if you want to stick with Ubuntu. That's always there. It's Linux, you have options.
Do you still have the dash if you use the GNOME desktop?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Good.
They kind of have their own, if you use GNOME shell, they kind of have their own version of like the search. Are you talking about the launcher bar over on this side, or are you talking about the menu up on top?
The dash menu, and then what's the other one there?
GNOME shell kind of has its own version of that. They have pinned on the left-hand side.
Okay.
They do have like a favorites list of applications, and they do kind of have that search feature. So they're quite similar in functionality. They just look a little
They
different.
ship a bunch of menus.
If that helps.
Let it go. Do you have any opinions on Mint versus Ubuntu?
I do. I don't like to talk bad about other distros from an Ubuntu local community person. Personally, I think Mint is trying to duplicate a lot of work that other products are doing or that have done. The Cinnamon. There's a lot of other groups that are already floating GNOME 2 and trying to get a working or a stable or GNOME 2 trying to carry on that legacy. And I guess I chose legacy purposefully there. UI seem to be moving away from that, and personally, I think they're trending on. They're doing some other cool things, which maybe I haven't used it in their latest release, but I think they're duplicating a lot of efforts. But that's me. Whether if people use it, I don't care. That's everybody's freedom of choice, etc. If it works for them, that's awesome. People like OpenSUSE, I used it a long time ago. Not really for me, but I'm not gonna judge anybody for using it. So.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. Some people even use KDE.
I did back in the day. KDE 4 is what ruined it for me.
KDE 4 what?
It ruined it. Made me go to regular Ubuntu.
Yeah, and I've seen that seems to have happened with KDE 4. People went back to GNOME, or they jumped back to GNOME. The similar thing, the revolution of the user interface is kind of happening with GNOME now. I think it's maybe GNOME's version of KDE 4 with Unity and with GNOME shell. A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see where the trend is going to go with that. If people are going to jump back to KDE, or maybe I think it's Cinnamon. Maybe Cinnamon will take off, and that'll be the next greatest thing. If people keep really hits on it. Who knows? I certainly don't. I'm smart enough to figure that out.
I'm good.
Well, thank
You
you.
guys, is there any other?
Do you
I
have any?
think we're dropping some packets.
We're dropping a lot of packets,
Did you learn quite a bit?
but I think we're good.
Okay, I got a thumbs up. I think that means we're good. All right. thank you very much. I'm glad, I hope it
Or we
was
could do.
okay, doing it
No, it doesn't
back
work.
with ESL.